Yo guys, welcome back to Vince's Edits, and today we'll be checking out how to put leaf textures or even back tree textures on your paint effects on Maya. So we'll be using two apps, obviously Maya and Photoshop. Let's start by getting out our paint effects. So we're gonna switch from the modeling tab, the effects layer. Then there are two ways you can able to get the paint effects. The first way is to go to effects, get effects assets, and they'll appear. And the other way is to go to Windows, general editors, and content browser, and they'll also be there. So let's go with the one which most people know. So effects, get effects assets. Then now you go to paint effects right over here. Then we'll look for something like a tree. So trees or tree mesh. Since this will be a short video, you can just go with something basic like this tree over here. So there's our tree. Now there's so many things you can do to this tree. Since it's still a paint effect, you can be able to modify it at the channel editor. So you switch the tab until the one which one you see has global scale. The one which one has the global scale is the one which one has all the effects that you can do on the tree. Twist. So twist affects how much you want it to twist. Like the twist rate is, yeah, as you can see, like the double the amount of twist that you want. But we are not getting much into this things, but it's good to know that they are there. You can be able to edit how you want your tree to look like before you convert it into polygons. Now if you want to convert now this into polygons, you simply go to modify here on the up here on modify, then convert paint effects into polygons. Just like that. Now you have your polygon tree. We want to put leaf textures and back textures to this tree. So how do we do that? We first go to our browser, we search for something like HD leaf texture. It'd be better if you get a PNG picture because of Alphacut. You can able to detect PNG pictures very well. So the type of leaf I'd go with is this one. Seems nice, the resolution is high, so yeah, this one is good. So I can decide to visit the website, see if they offer a PNG picture of this. This is my leaf in PNG. So I'll do two things in Photoshop. I'm gonna download one with the PNG and let us say I just take it out of the net just like that. Let me first create a folder in my desktop and we call this Maya project. So it's good for us to first save our work. So let's go to, you go to set project, desktop, you look for the folder that we just created, the Maya project one. Then you click here set, then create default workspace. If you think I'm going fast, preferably you can slow down the video. So then we can go to the project window. It's gonna give us all these folders. Then you say you want to set it at the Maya project and hit accept. So now as we look at our Maya project, you see we have all these files now. So the right place to put our textures is at the source images. If you want everything in just one folder, you just put in the source images. So this, I'm gonna drag it over here. If you realize this is not a PNG, when I just drag it out of the net, it becomes a JPEG. You can see even here it's no, actually it's a PNG file but with no transparency, because I just dragged it out of the net. But now if you look, the one which I just downloaded, downloads, this one, you can see this one now has no checkers thing in the background. So source images, I'm also gonna put this on there. Yeah, now look at this. This is what I was talking about. This one has transparency. You can see that the background is black, but this one does not have any transparency because you can still see the checkers background. So one of the things I'm gonna show you is that PNG is much easier to use than the PNG, the one with the transparency, is easier to use than the one without. Since the one without, you're gonna have to do more things for it to work. So let me open up Photoshop right here. You can just simply drag the file in. So let's drag the one without the transparency. There it is. Actually, this leaf will cause some problems because you can see right over here, like we have no like branch, like that thing that's connecting up to the leaf. I don't know the name. So you see this leaf, the background is like there's no transparency. So what do you do if you downloaded an image without transparency? Simple, you just come here and find a tool. This tool over here, it could be looking like any of these three, you see, but this tool right here, then you select the quick select tool. So now you see, at the time you go for the quick select mode, it tells you could not use the quick select because it doesn't work with indexed color images. So the way how you do it now is to convert this image into RGB. So let's come here to the mode, from the index color to the RGB color. Now you see we can be able to now quick select this thing, you see, and there you go, you have selected the whole leaf. So yeah, if you hit the mask option now, you see you have made it now transparent. You might think that this is still the checkers, but it's not the same. We have actually created a mask. If I open out a new layer right here, actually no, if I open up a new solid color, let's put it like red, then we drag it down here under the leaf, you can see the way how it carried out of the picture. Now our leaf apparently here looks like it has no branch like at the start to start the leaf at. So what you're going to do here is we're going to use a certain tool. This tool, it's called the clone sampling tool. So you have to click Alt first and select the area that you want to clone. So a quick heads up, there was an issue when I was doing the tutorial whereby I already masked the leaf. Now I cannot continue using the clone tool if this part is already masked out. You have to do it before you mask the leaf. So I did in the video, I was not able to show this, but I've done a pre-record to show you guys what I mean. What happened? I took the clone tool, selected a source over here like this. You hold down Alt, you select a source, then now you drag down the way how you want it to be from there. So you can use this as your petiole for the leaf. Then later on you can come here and select the whole leaf until that place, and now you mask just like that. So you cannot add this while it's still masked. You still need the original photo for it to work. So you do it before you mask if you're ever going to use a leaf like this that needs a petiole. Now back to the video. Now we can able to select this whole thing with a quick select tool, including that right there. Press Alt to remove places that you do not want it to select. In order to reduce your brush size, you can come up here, then you just click that plays very well. Then now you hit the mask button down here. Now see it's separated. Here we got our leaf sample. Then we are just gonna, we want two of them. We want it on the as it is right here with the transparency, and we want another one as black and white as an Alphacut. It's called an Alphacut. So we're gonna crop right here, drag this towards there, so that whenever we go back to our UVs, it will be starting, our leaf will be starting over here from the tree, and it will be like somewhere, like if you leave it like over here, it'll be like this some gap of air, then your leaf is floating, you get. But we don't want that, so we're gonna put it like that so it fits in perfectly. Then we're gonna crop down here just a little bit, same as to here, just a little bit, and up here just a little bit, so that you can get like some good space. Hit enter, and there you go, we have our first leaf. Actually, I should rotate this leaf. I want it to stand from down looking upwards, so that it won't bring any problems in our UVs. UV mostly check our leaves from down going up, so preferably you should flip your UVs. So Control T to enable that thing to flip, or the selection tool, Control T to enable it. Then now we flip it all the way up here. We can also reduce its size just a little bit so that it can be able to fit within our borders that we created over here, just like that. Nice. Then we can go back to our crop tool, and we can reduce this direction over here, this direction over here, and up here, and hit enter. So there is our leaf, guys. Let's go to our files. Actually, let's hit Control Shift and S to save our file somewhere. You see, we have the PNG one. With the PNG one, we didn't have to remove the transparency. All I just needed to do was to add this part down here on the leaf. Then then flip it. Only that. Now you see, but now without the transparency, you had to go in, make the cut, create your own mask so that it can work perfectly. That's the difference between the PNG without transparency, or JPEG, and PNG with transparency. PNG with transparency will make your life so much easier than the one without. So we're gonna save it right over here in the name of leaf. Save. Large files for saving. Okay, so now we're gonna make the Alphacut out of this. You see now the leaf, the position right now that it is, we just need it to be white and the background to be black. How do we do that? So like you see, this itself is a good example of an Alphacut. You see the background is black and the leaf is white. So the first way you can do this is okay, I believe the only best way I can show how to do this is to create a solid color. Give it the black, pure black solid color. Hit OK. Drag this all the way down here. You can see now how our leaf looks like. Let's go to our brush. We want to give it a white color. Remember, the background should be black and the leaf itself should be white. So I'm gonna increase my brush size over here, give it the white color, the pure white, then I paint all over there. I can see some black. The background over here, it's kind of like, I think the masking did not go well over there, so that's why you can able to see some few black spots. But now you see it's clean, Don't stress too much about it, because it's such a small detail in the tree that people won't able to notice, like this thing not even being a branch, that's just an addition of the leaf. It's such a small detail, but it's good for it to be there so it can still stand out different. File, export. I'm gonna export it as a PNG. Let's call it leaf Alphacut. Control Shift S. It didn't come up with the options. If that doesn't happen, just go to File, Export as a PNG. That's simple. So now we got our Alphacut here and our leaf PNG. Let's go back to Maya. and we're gonna apply these things on these leaves. So we open up our shader right over here, Hypershade, and you can see that Maya already has tried to create its own looking leaves by just using some specular and some color changes just to make it look like a leaf, but we want an actual leaf. So what we can do here is to we can create a new material for this. Assign new material, we go to shader and select the AI standard surface shader, and now that it's here you can give it a name. Now we go to the color of the leaf. We want it to be the actual leaf, so hit this checker thing over here, go to files, hit the that document thingy, then select our leaf PNG right over here, hit open. You see how it looks like? That looks good. Let's go back to our background and we open Arnold, we put a sky dome light, then we hit our rendering over here. So you can see it's still got the black. Like, let me show you, let me get closer to one of these leaves, probably this one, and I hit the render. You can see that each leaf got the like black thing. We don't want that on the leaf. That's where Alphacut comes in. See how every leaf has that like black spot right over there? We don't want that, so let's close that real fast. We select our leaves, we go to attributes editor, look for our leaf AI standard surface that we call a leaf, scroll down to geometry, and right over here are the opacity. You can click that, then go to files, our folder right over here. Let's place our leaf over there. Now the PNG one, the PNG Alphacut, open, and now as we go now to our renderer, open render view, click on play. See, now our leaves has no black background, they're all just like perfect leaves. You see? So if you think it's not visible on your display port, you can just go to render, viewpoint 2.0, and set this object sorting right over here and put it Alphacut, and click close. Now if you zoom to one of these leaves, then you select the material preview, you can be able to see the leaves perfectly. Yeah, so there you go, that's now our tree with the leaves. If I hit a quick render, you can see the leaves are actually there and they look just the way how we set them. Now if you want to go now to the branch of the tree, as you can see the tree branch is, I mean, you can still use the same one, but if you want it to look good, you see the way it looks like faded out. We don't want that, we want it to look perfect. So we're gonna do the same thing that you have done to the leaves, we're gonna do it on the tree now. So we're gonna go to the internet, find tree back textures. We're gonna use this one. You see this one, the resolution is big and looks perfectly fine. So, and you see it's seamless as in, if you put it on a UV, you can repeat it as many times as possible and it'll still look perfect. It won't scale up, it'll just look good because it's seamless. So I think this one you can just drag it out of the Chrome straight into our source images, just like that. It's So let's just go back to our Maya, and we select now our tree texture. We right click here, then we say assign new material, a shader, and AI standard surface. Then we're gonna go here to our color, 2D file, select the folder, it will open straight the source images. Then you look for something called the backleaf and hit OK. You can see the way how it looks, just perfect. So now if you go to our Arnold, open Arnold render view, hit play, right over here you can see our tree actually looks good, but the bump maps is like off a little bit. So we can try to make it rough. One of the ways that I know of doing that is by simply going to the new existing material that we created for the leaf. Let's open Hypershade. Let's call this where's the AI standard surface. Let's clear this first out of there, then we click the middle one to take back the texture for this. We're gonna hit here, we call this the tree bark. So we have that over there. We're gonna add some roughness to it. I'm gonna use geometry and the bump mapping. I'm gonna use noise. I'm gonna use a noise. Then I'm gonna click this a little bit. The threshold, I'm gonna reduce the ratio just a bit, something like that. Then the frequency, just reduce it just a bit, and the depth, I like that. Like that is okay. That is okay. Then we still have some specular in our tree bark. We don't want that, so let's go here to specular. We put the color to 0 and our weight still remains 1. Everything is okay. We don't need transmission since it's you don't want to see through the tree. Now with that, if I hit render, you can see now it actually looks perfect. Looks like a tree.